What is Bob Iger's endgame? Well, apparently it is indeed to sell to Apple. This comes from numerous Disney executives, current and historical. And from fairly reputable source. This is a rumour that has persisted time and time again. And it also adds some weight to exactly why Bob Iger chose to come back. What do I mean by that? Well, as he left and gave the reins over to Bob Chapek, he would have gone down as one of the greatest CEOs in history, as per what he had done for Disney with acquisitions and the increase of Disney exponentially. Since coming back, Disney's gone way downhill. Now this is the fruits of his labour, in fact, coming home to roost. A lot of phrases being used here. But of course Disney Plus was his baby. It's a big drain. It's not massively profitable. In fact, it's not profitable by any stretch of the imagination. But this does seemingly add some weight to exactly why he came back. So let's take a look at this. Hit subscribe if you're new here and turn the bell notifications on. But let's go! Disney. Numerous Disney executives reportedly believe that CEO Bob Iger's endgame is to sell the company to Apple. Again, this is a persistent rumour. And it's persistent because, yeah, there's a lot of truth behind it. This is an article over on Bounding Into Comics. So, as the House of Mouse continues to sink, thanks to poor decision after poor decision, the large portion of them are actually from Bob Iger, there's a new report that suggests a number of current and former Disney executives believe CEO Bob Iger has no interest in actually saving the company, but rather ultimately hopes to keep it afloat just long enough to sell it off to Apple. Yeah, I can believe that. So the insight into the supposed sentiment felt amongst the upper levels of Disney's corporate structure was first detailed to the public courtesy of CNBC's Alex Sherman. So he said, speaking with more than a dozen past and present Disney executives as part of a deep dive analysis into Iger's disastrous return as CEO, Sherman discovered that many within the company privately believe Iger's desired and end game is to stay as CEO for as long as possible and then sell the company to Apple, which I can absolutely unequivocally believe. Without a shadow of a doubt, I believe that's the case. So admittedly, such a deal sounds like nothing more than a pipe dream born from overconfident Wall Street analysis. I disagree. There is a possibility, it can't be ruled out, as not only has Iger begun to seek outside investment for the Disney-owned ESPN, but both the company and its current CEO have enjoyed long-standing relationships with the popular tech developer. Yeah, Disney and Apple. Yeah, Bob Iger. Yeah, interesting. So, thanks to an investment of roughly $5 million into the fledgling company, late Apple founder Steve Jobs was appointed the chairman of Pixar Animation's board of directors. He actually held this position as well as that of Pixar's CEO, and at one point sole owner until the esteemed Animation Studios' 2006 acquisition by Disney, at which time his duties were rolled into a seat on the House of Mouse's board of directors. From there, Jobs would continue serving as a member of Disney's board all the way up to his death in 2011. They have deep ties to one another, ladies and gents. Deep, deep, deep ties. And it would be during the organisation of this deal that Iger would strike up a friendship with Jobs. And this is a statement that Iger said anyway. Steve and I became good friends since we'd made the Pixar deal. We socialised on occasion and talked a few times a week. We vacationed at adjacent Hawaiian hotels a few times and would meet and take long walks on the beach, talking about our wives and kids, about music, about Apple and Disney, and the things we might still do together. Our connection was much more than a business relationship. We enjoyed each other's company immensely, and we felt we could say anything to each other, that our friendship was strong enough that it would never be threatened by candour. Yeah, pretty close, to be fair. The two were so close, in fact, that Jobs texted Iger immediately after taking his son to watch Iron Man 2 to let the Disney boss know that it sucked. However, as far as Iger is publicly concerned, such a sale is not currently at the forefront of Disney's forward-looking outlook. Not quite true. So, in terms of statements anyway. So asked during the company's recent Q3 2023 earnings call whether you see a plausible scenario where the entire company would be sold. I just am not going to speculate about the potential for Disney to be acquired by any company, whether a technology company or not. Not exactly ruling it out. Obviously, anyone who wants to speculate about these things would have to immediately consider the global regulatory environment. I'll say no more than that. It's not something we obsess about. Yeah, not something we obsess about, and yet you are literally breaking down Disney into bite-sized chunks which can be purchased. Apple pushing forward into the game of filmmaking and streaming. Apple TV Plus, built and modelled entirely off of Disney Plus. In fact, you can see the similarities there. Interesting, isn't it? What would Apple's purchase of a studio look like if it was going to purchase one? I mean, it's going to go for the biggest, isn't it? With the most assets. That would be Disney. I can 100% believe this. And Disney is literally breaking down their company to digestible chunks for Apple to purchase. So those regulatory environments don't actually pose an issue. So to that end, as seen with Microsoft's ongoing efforts to acquire Call of Duty and World of Warcraft, Activision Blizzard, it's likely that a sale to Disney, to Apple, or to anyone for that matter, would be subject to intense anti-monopoly scrutiny. Only if it wasn't broken down. Though it's possible that the entire process would eventually result in a favourable decision to both companies, the potential legal headaches and uphill battles that this deal would entail could be enough to dissuade either entity from even entertaining the idea of acquisition, if Disney wasn't broken down, which it is. So as of writing, neither Disney nor Iger have publicly commented on Sherman's report. So like I said, this adds a lot of weight as to why CEO Bob Iger chose to come back. I mean, selling to Apple would go down in history. That'd be a monumentous achievement. And they have made numerous steps. Whether they've made steps for it to happen, they have made steps which would enable it to happen by breaking down the company. And it makes sense. It makes sense. That's why you come back. Why else would you come back to a complete shit show? Unless, of course, you're looking for the accolades of managing to turn the ship around. Who knows? But yeah, numerous people believe that that is his end goal. The end game of Bob Iger is to sell to Apple. I can believe it. What about you, though? Can you? Leave your thoughts down below. Give the video a like and a share. Hit subscribe. Take care. Bye-bye now.